Welcome, all seekers of truth. Today we look up at the infinite and silent cosmic sky. How does the Almighty and Eternal Creator speak to our fragile, mortal human race? He wrote two majestic books. One is painted with brilliant stars across the vast and endless galaxies. The other is quietly written with dark ink upon ancient, deeply weathered parchment scrolls. Which of these grand masterpieces truly reveals the hidden heartbeat of God? Let us find out. In the ancient heart of Jerusalem, King David sits alone inside his dimly lit chamber. The royal study is wrapped in heavy shadows, illuminated by a single flickering candle. A gentle night breeze blows through the massive stone arch, carrying the sudden chill of the desert. He looks out into the immense darkness, observing the quiet rotation of the night sky. According to ancient records, David was a warrior, a poet, and a truly brilliant king. But in the quiet hours of midnight, he is simply a humble man seeking his Creator. He understands that mortals are but fleeting dust beneath the vast and beautiful eternal heavens. How can a finite human mind comprehend the boundless wisdom of the mighty Lord Almighty? Historical texts tell us that David found his answer by looking in two opposite directions. First, he lifts his weary eyes to behold the staggering, endless beauty of the universe above. Then he lowers his gaze to the sacred law, written carefully upon his heavy wooden desk. Psalm 19 is the masterful poem where he brings these two great, stunning wonders together. It is a profoundly deep philosophical journey, from the macrocosmos to the microtext. The king recognizes that the starry canvas is the very first testament of God's great power. Long before the prophets spoke, the vast universe was already preaching an endless sermon. There is no human language up there, yet the powerful message of creation echoes everywhere. The stars do not use words, but their silent, endless majesty commands absolute reverence and awe. We must step outside the royal palace to fully grasp the epic scale of this cosmic display. Let us leave the earthly realm behind and ascend into the breathtakingly grand sea of starlight. The earth becomes a tiny speck of dust as we plunge into the deep, dark abyss of outer space. Here, the absolute true magnitude of the Creator's physical power is finally displayed. Witness the glowing nebulas and the violent, sudden birth of massive stars in the dark void. The celestial bodies move with absolute precision, obeying the unseen forces of physics. Every single planet and comet travels precisely along its beautifully designed orbit. This flawless cosmic dance is a testament to an intelligence far beyond our mortal measure. The ancient psalmist declares that the heavens declare the glory of the mighty, invisible God. They are an unstoppable, continuous broadcast of His supreme and undeniable great might. Day after day they pour forth speech, and night after night they reveal truly profound, deep knowledge. Consider the sheer size of the Milky Way, spinning silently in the freezing, endless vacuum. Billions of fiery suns burn with unimaginable heat, generating oceans of deep light. Who commanded these gigantic furnaces to ignite and scattered them across the immense darkness? It takes millions of years for their brilliant light to finally reach our fragile, tiny planet. Yet, despite the terrifying scale of the cosmos, there is a perfect, enduring harmony. The ancient scholars understood that such perfect order could not simply arise from random chaos. A grand design this complex absolutely requires a master architect of infinite wisdom. If the universe is this vast and powerful, how terribly small do you feel standing beneath it? Does looking at the galaxies make you feel completely insignificant or highly valued? Let your human mind dwell on that profound question as we continue exploring this cosmic truth. The skies above serve as the universal language, deeply understood by every nation on Earth. From the nomadic shepherds to the greatest emperors, all look up to the exact same shining stars. There is no speech or human language where their silent, majestic voice is not absolutely heard. Their immense physical presence stretches across the globe, reaching the very distant ends of the Earth. In the center of this cosmic theater, the sun rises like a mighty champion running his course. It bursts forth from the horizon, flooding the cold and dark world with beautiful, life-giving warmth. Nothing is hidden from its scorching heat. Its brilliant rays touch every single corner of life. This magnificent solar display is a daily reminder of God's overwhelming majesty. But the vastness of the universe brings a terrifying and deeply unsettling realization. The stars are truly beautiful, but they are incredibly distant, completely silent and cold. They do not know your name, they do not feel your pain, and they cannot gently wipe your falling tears. A God who only builds galaxies is too massive, too terrifying for frail humans to approach. He might be a supreme engineer, but does he actually care about our daily mortal struggles? Does the one who spins the solar systems pay attention to the broken heart of a fragile mortal? To find the profound answer to this desperate question, we must finally return from this scary void. We must leave the blazing nebulas behind and quickly travel back down to the dusty earth below. We return to the quiet, dimly lit chamber in Jerusalem, where the old king is now waiting. The camera shifts from the infinite macrocosmos to the intimate micro-world of the royal desk. Beneath the beautiful flickering candlelight, David's worn hands unroll a precious parchment scroll. Here lies the second magnificent book, written not with stars, but with dark, earthly, historical ink. According to the sacred ancient texts, this is the law of the Lord, perfect and fully complete. While the universe displays God's massive muscles, the written word clearly reveals his tender heart. The heavens shout aloud about his power, but the Holy Scriptures whisper of his redeeming grace. The law of the Lord is entirely perfect, fully capable of reviving the exhausted soul. When the coldness of the world entirely drains our spirit, these written words bring us back to life. The universe provides no moral guidance, but the statutes of the righteous Lord are trustworthy. They make the simple people wise, offering a perfectly clear and steady path through the darkness. You cannot learn how to forgive your enemies by staring endlessly at the starry Milky Way. The stars will never ever teach you how to be a righteous father or a compassionate leader. For that, humanity desperately needs the specific, deeply detailed instructions of the Creator. The precepts of the Lord are absolutely right, bringing profound joy to the lonely, heavy heart. The commands of the Lord are pure and radiant, giving a clear light to the completely blinded eyes. Notice how the psalmist shifts from the general name for God to his very deeply personal name. He moves from the distant creator of the cosmos to the highly intimate shepherd of the soul. If you had to choose between unlimited cosmic power or perfect moral wisdom, which truly wins? Think carefully, for true power without moral boundaries becomes a dark, terrifying tyranny. The fear of the Lord is entirely pure and enduring forever, completely free from any corruption. His decrees are firm, and every single one of them is righteous, entirely just, and completely true. David strongly declares that these written words are far more precious than the purest, finest solid gold. They are much sweeter than the absolute finest honey, dripping fresh from the golden, sweet honeycomb. Through them, the loyal servant is clearly warned about the dangerous, hidden pitfalls of human life. In keeping them diligently, there is a truly magnificent and eternal great reward. But the law is a sharp mirror, instantly exposing the hidden, dark flaws within our fragile spirits. Who can truly discern their own deeply hidden errors without the shining light of this cosmic truth? David respectfully bows his head, begging the Lord to forgive his unseen and deeply buried faults. He prays desperately to be kept from willful sins, so they will absolutely not rule over his life. Only through this humble submission can a mortal man be entirely blameless before his Maker. The ink on the parchment suddenly looks far more powerful than the absolute brightest burning star, because it possesses the divine ability to transform the wicked, broken heart into something pure. We now witness the truly magnificent synthesis of these two grand and beautiful revelations. The king stands up slowly, holding the heavy parchment scroll closely against his softly beating heart. He turns his weary face toward the open window, bathed perfectly in the glow of the distant stars. The warm yellow light of the candle perfectly meets the cold, endless blue starlight from high above. He is standing at the exact intersection of the infinite cosmos and the intimate Word. A profound spiritual realization washes over him, bringing tears to his aging, weary eyes. The powerful God who orchestrates the violent galaxies also cares deeply about his fragile soul. Let the words of my mouth and the deep meditation of my human heart be acceptable in your sight. O Lord, my eternal rock and my ultimate redeemer, the old king finally whispers in the night. This beautifully concludes the greatest poem ever written about the vast physical heavens. The overwhelming macro-universe and the intricate micro-laws are now completely united. They both actively declare the exact same divine truth to our desperately broken, fragile world. If you carefully observe the distant, burning galaxies, you will quickly discover his limitless might. If you diligently read the sacred scriptures, you will absolutely and clearly understand his deep love. True enlightenment requires us to look carefully in both of these opposite directions. We must look up in silent reverence and look down in complete, absolute obedience to his words. Only then can a mortal person find ultimate peace in the exact middle of a chaotic existence. The dark, starry sky outside continues its slow rotation, while the sacred candle gently burns inside. David carefully places his pen down, knowing his legacy will inspire future generations. The universe remains silent, but through this sacred text, it finally sings a beautiful, loud song. It is a truly majestic symphony, praising the supreme architect of both heaven and the earth. Next time you gaze at the Milky Way, just remember that the great Creator knows you intimately. He counts every shining star in the galaxy, and also lovingly counts every tear you have cried. The law of the Lord remains the ultimate steady guiding compass for our deeply wandering footsteps. King David clearly recognized this brilliant truth, and his great wisdom was passed down to his young son. The young King Solomon would soon take the royal throne and build a truly unforgettable, grand empire. He would use his father's incredibly profound understanding to rule the massive, ancient, mortal world. How did the wisest monarch in human history manage vast wealth and immense human resources? The legendary book of Proverbs contains the ultimate secrets of his highly glorious success. We will explore the incredibly fascinating financial strategies of King Solomon very soon. Prepare your mind to uncover the ancient wisdom that still governs our modern, fast society today. Let us gracefully close this beautiful cosmic chapter and firmly return to our earthly realities. The sacred candle flame slowly burns down, leaving a beautiful, thin trail of white smoke in the darkness. King David's magnificent legacy will forever be etched in both the heavens and the ancient scrolls. The infinitely silent stars will always remember the lonely poet who sang their song to the world. The vast universe shows his massive power, but his sacred law clearly reveals his tender, loving heart. Between the starry night and the written word, which makes you feel profoundly closer to him? Comment below. If this grand cosmic journey truly moved your soul, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel today.